If you want your life to be impactful and you want to leave a legacy, keep watching. Hi, welcome to Bible Questions with Christopher. In this video, I attempt to answer the question, how can I make my life impactful, by looking at 1 Samuel 15, verse 22. In this world of technology, we hear so often of people who have a big impact. We hear about actors who support global causes. We're informed of corporate leaders who start philanthropic organizations to change the world. We want our lives to have a similarly big impact. We want to do big things. We want to influence others. We want our lives to leave a legacy. As Christians, we may want to make major sacrifices in order to serve God. We may give up earthly comforts to become missionaries. We may give up our Saturdays to serve others. These are great goals. These are great things to do. Yet, there's something even more important. We want the Bible to tell us how our lives can be impactful, how our lives can leave a legacy. The good news is the Bible tells us exactly how to do those things. One of the places it does that is in 1 Samuel 15, verse 22. Come on, let's see what it says. 1 Samuel 15, verse 22. And Samuel said, "Has the Lord as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of the Lord? Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to listen than the fat of rams." All right, be honest. Your first reaction to that is, that passage doesn't sound like it's telling me how to be impactful. Is there anything else in the Bible that would be more helpful? Our problem is, we just don't view commands of God or obedience as being impactful. We think small things like obeying God, keeping His commands, praying to Him, giving thanks to Him, don't make for an impactful life. Look at this passage. It's speaking to King Saul. King Saul. If anybody was in a position to have an impactful life, it's a king. And yet, if you know your Old Testament, you know that King Saul's life was anything but impactful. His life was a failure. Why? Because he didn't obey God. He didn't prioritize God's commands. If you're unfamiliar with this passage, I'd encourage you to read all of 1 Samuel 15, or even all of 1 Samuel, to understand the context of this story. If we cared more about obeying God's commands, we'd be better positioned to have an impactful life. So I want my life to be impactful, and I want to help make your life impactful too. I have two recommendations on how we can do that. Number one, we need to recognize that being obedient is the foundation for having an impactful life. I know that this is a mental switch, which leads to recommendation two. At the end of every day, give yourself a rating on how well you obeyed God's commands on a scale of 1 to 10. Think about how you can do a better job tomorrow, or what you need to do in order to do a better job tomorrow. If you already did a great job, go back to recommendation 1. Pat yourself on the back for having an impactful day. My name is Christopher, and I hope this video has been helpful in understanding how your life can have a big impact by looking at 1 Samuel 15, verse 22. So what'd you think? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, you may be interested in my other two videos in which I try to answer the question, what is God's will for our lives, by looking at different passages from 1 Thessalonians. I'll link those videos in the description below.